Hello.
Hey, good
Hello.
morning. It's good afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it cold in Taiwan?
Yeah, it's gotten pretty chilly the past couple of weeks. So everybody's walking around with nice big puffer jackets. But what
Mm.
makes it feel cold is that everybody, when it gets cold, everybody in Taiwan opens the windows and opens the doors to get more like wind, more air circulation. So whereas in the US, when it gets cold, everybody closes the doors and windows, and so it doesn't feel cold.
Hmm.
Wait, why is that the case? They open the windows? Like on purpose? Or
Yeah, it's on purpose. Basically, yeah, they think like when it gets cold and wet, there's more viruses around, so that they open the doors and windows to get more air circulation.
mm, I can see the reasoning behind that.
Yeah. It makes sense. It's just really uncomfortable. So most of the time they'll have to walk around with jackets and hats on, even indoors.
Mm.
Yeah. How are you guys doing on your quests?
I'm just
I mean,
starting this week's the shape
oh,
one.
Uh-huh.
yeah. I think I just popped it, but um I don't know like what's wrong with my because like it's just the stick man after you pop it. You just like making the stick man.
Uh-huh.
And I already like passed the test to like construct the stickman, which means that like all the shapes and lines are already in like that vector. But
Uh-huh.
then when my draw function, it should be pretty simple. Like you just iterate through it and then just draw it. But for some reason, like it's just not working. And I just don't, I'm trying to figure out exactly why that's the case. So
Wait, so Stickman works, but Draw Stickman doesn't?
yeah. Or at least it passed the test for it.
Okay.
But
All right. So at least for Stickman, there's a lot of people make an error in their constructor, and then you'll get a message saying that your Stickman is in the wrong place, but you draw it and everything looks in the right place. Um, but if your problem is in the draw, I mean the draw is just.
yeah, it should just be a for loop that goes through the parts vector.
Yeah,
And
and you got
yeah.
to have a gate at the beginning that says if there are no parts, just return false.
Oh, maybe is that the case? Maybe
I didn't have an early return. That's probably smarter.
Yeah.
so if there's oh, did it say that in the thing or did I just are you just supposed to know just like intuitively know that?
Well, you got a Boolean, so you return false or true. So under what conditions do you want to return false? Under what conditions do you want to return true? So
I see. Okay.
I
I
set up my
tr
draw pretty similarly to like the draw by X or draw by Y, actually.
yeah, I had like the contain like if it's like contained because like that's what he provided in the draw by X. He had like
Yeah.
a thing, and then that's what I was doing. But and then I would return the contain,
Yeah.
but so maybe include like an if statement about if
yeah, if
they're.
there's nothing to draw, then you can just return false.
I see. Okay. Um,
But yeah, my draw by X and draw by Y were almost
very
identical.
similar. Yeah. We just like kind of swap the X and Y sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I actually thought the constructor for Stickman wasn't that bad, but I think I just like I took that entire block for the setup at like at face value and just used the coordinates and it passed on the first try and I was like, oh perfect.
Yeah, it's
And there has to be like the check for if like it's a 0 or a 1. You set it to default, right? Or
Yeah,
yeah.
if it's like
yeah,
less than one or something.
yeah.
Oh, you did this one. Yeah, I put, yeah, my checks were if H is exactly equal to 0 or exactly equal to 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, less than 1 would have done the same thing.
See if
But
that works.
yeah, there's just a one bug in the constructor that bites, you know, it bites some people and then they spend like hours trying to figure out what the mistake is, and it's a really simple one. But other than that, it's yeah, it's a pretty straightforward quest, I think. Yeah.
I also passed the destructor without having anything in there, but obviously there's a
Oh,
giant memory
really?
leak because you don't delete anything.
Yeah.
There's just a giant memory leak hanging around.
Yeah, it's just well, I haven't been tested my destructor one, but it's just you iterate through it and then delete each pointer.
Yeah.
Or yeah. Seems that's not a different issue now. I mean, I could also just move on to the next quest, but it's bugging me that I can't figure it out.
And you can just move on to the next quest and it'll come back to you in the shower.
Yeah, probably.
This one take a while for you guys to pup, or I know last quest was pretty fast, but
The shapes one?
yeah, shapes.
This one was pretty fast for me to pop, but to dog it took a while because I had this stupid mistake in the constructor.
I
Yeah,
think I got a
maybe.
little bit hung up on the two string. That was the main spot.
Yeah, I can see that.
I forgot about the size T thing and I was like, what do you mean my pointer's broken?
Oh yeah, that I couldn't go like below 0. Or like
Yeah.
you'd have to set it up slightly differently.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
say compared to last week's quest, maybe a little bit longer, but like not really much longer. So last week's quest was pretty short though, so
Yeah. I think last week's quest was designed to be short because of the midterm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you said the next 3 quests were a little longer, right? Or like kind of compared to like the first, the 4, 5, 6, they're longer,
Let
right?
me
Or
see what comes next.
The Q one shouldn't be too bad. It's pretty simple. Q structure is pretty similar to a stack.
Yeah, that one's not too bad. That one's enjoyable. That's okay. 6. So 7 is ant. No,
Yeah.
7 is Q. Q's ant.
Or yeah, seven's Q, but yeah, it is the ant quest. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And
So that one's, let's say, medium hard. It's not too hard, not too easy. The try one is hard, 8. It's not long, but it's dense.
I
It'll
have no experience with tries, so I'm pretty sure I will struggle on that one.
yeah. And then quest 9 is another super easy one.
Oh, the last quest is easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, for tries, it's like, yeah, none of us have any experience with it. And so you have to do a lot of reading and understanding what the data structure does first before you go and start the quest. And then the code is, it's not long, but it's dense.
Mm.
But Q is and Q is pretty easy. No, it's medium. I found it enjoyable.
Okay.
So last one of the graph.
Yeah, that's the last one's just graph. You can do that in like an hour or two.
Have you started the CS2C ones yet, all, Gabriel?
Yeah, I'm on what quest? I'm on like the third or fourth. Yeah, I just started the fourth red quest.
You're zooming through 'em.
Yeah,
Noticeably harder.
noticeably harder. I think by the second one he drops the term mini quest, and they're just tests that you have to pass.
Great.
Really?
And then some of them if you don't quite pass, you get a point, but then it'll go on to the next one anyway. And some of them are hard stops if you don't pass, so it's a little bit tricky. It's I think it's much harder to dog the red quests because you don't even know how many trophies are in the total.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
And there's no like a subreddit post or something of someone like showing everything.
Yeah, nobody's done
Probably.
that yet. No. But yeah, the concepts are much harder.
Okay.
I was gonna ask, are you guys planning on taking 2C next quarter? I saw he's not teaching it
Yeah.
unless maybe we can ask. I remember he was saying something about that, but
Is there a different teacher then, or
Yeah.
yeah,
I forget who the teacher is.
it's
okay?
like,
I think, yeah.
It will be the same material, it's the same quests. So I asked about that.
oh
Oh, it's
really?
like the same like we have. It's like not anything. It's like not different. Like we're still gonna have to do all the assignments from these quests, or is it
Yeah,
the same material?
it's the same material from the Enquestopedia, the same thing. So
Oh,
so if
okay.
you work on the red quests now, you can use them next quarter.
Okay.
Oh really? Did he say that somewhere? Or no? I was thinking he was the only professor that.
He said it to me in a private email.
Oh, okay. With that, like, I think his name's like Dave or something, Dave Warden, that guy. Because I
I, I,
think,
I don't know who the other professor
unless,
is.
yeah, I'm wondering if he was just talking because I know he asked you if you wanted to like join 2C because he's teaching that this current quarter. I wonder if he was just referring to that.
No, he did ask me if I wanted to switch to the 2C class this semester, but I might be able to finish the red quests by the end of this quarter, but I'm not sure. Really depends on work and what comes up. So it wasn't something I could really commit to. I'm gonna try to get everything done by like March, April, because My master's classes are supposed to start up in April.
Mm.
So if I at least get all the, all the homework done, then I could think about doing 2C at the same time as my master's. Otherwise, yeah, my master's is going to be pretty serious math classes for the first semester. So I don't want to, I don't want to, I don't want to take anything too extra, too heavy there.
What are you getting your master's?
I'm doing an artificial intelligence program through IIT Bhilai. It's the India Institute of Technology.
That's cool.
It's cheap as hell, but I'm gonna get my ass kicked in math.
I think I'm gonna get my ass kicked in general. Looking at the 2C stuff.
Yeah, maybe I'll make
Yeah,
a post and see what he says about the quest format and if he's willing to offer next quarter, if not. So
David L. Harden.
I think class registration for 2C starts like next week though, so
yeah, I don't know how much leeway there is there, but
yeah.
I definitely want to just keep doing the quest since we already done it for 2 quarters. But
Yeah.
I think class registration won't be that hard because if I think for 2A there's a lot of people, a lot of competition. But for 2C, it's the same. It's only people that have already passed 2B, so it's just a smaller population.
Mm.
So I think you can decide now or decide later. I think it'll be, first week of classes. I think you won't have a problem getting into the class. Mm.
It's also
So
the same
Jim,
faces that show up on these Zoom calls anyway every week. So
yeah. So Joe and Julie, how are you guys doing?
I have the ant quest, but I haven't done much with it other than kind of type out the starter code.
Mhm.
That's actually all I've done is type out the starter code.
Yeah, it's. I think like the ant quest is kind of medium hard, but it's kind of enjoyable. It's just, like the circular cube. So it's not too bad. So that means you finished the shapes quest pretty well.
I didn't dog the shapes quest one, so all the like the stick man pieces. I haven't finished those.
Okay. Do you have any errors or anything like that that's stopping you?
No errors. I just stopped working on the mini quest once I got it, and then I was like, okay,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Once you pop it. Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
So
fair.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, but any of the mini quests that I did try, I don't have any errors on.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was pretty straightforward.
It felt like it. It definitely feel a little easier than like the first three.
Yeah. If you get an error about your man being in the wrong place, there's an error in your constructor.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay, that's good to know.
Okay. Yeah, and I was staring at it as like there can't be an error in my constructor. There can't be an error in my constructor. And then after hours and hours, yeah, there was an error in my constructor. It was a really simple one.
Mm.
Okay. All right, Joe, how you doing?
I've been all over the place. I've been recovering from a food allergy that came up out of nowhere, so I've
That
been
sucks.
I haven't been able to get started on the octopus quest yet. But yeah, I'm working on that today and this weekend.
Yeah, okay.
Probably have enough time. Like it's not, doesn't take too long. Yeah, a couple days should be enough.
Yeah, I don't expect it to take too long. I've noticed a lot of the small things that have prevented me from progressing, and it hopefully shouldn't get to me now. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago when I was doing one of the quests, I copied the starter code and it had the pointers uninitialized, and I thought that was fine. But apparently I had to initialize the pointers as null pointer, and then Valgrind stopped yelling at me.
Oh, yeah, I had that same thing where I was like, okay, I mean, it makes sense that you should initialize pointers to no pointer. So I had to add that to one. I think we're probably talking about the same function.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird because I had Valgrind on my PC, so I was able to run my program with it. And because when I looked at the test outputs, it's like add this this flag to display where the errors are coming from, which functions. And so I did that on my computer, and it's just like your whole program's just wrong. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Then eventually I found it pointing to the uninitialized variables. But yeah, hopefully it shouldn't take me that long to figure out any future problems, but yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. When it compiles, it just makes the pointer and then whatever garbage happens to already be there. It's set. So yeah, it does make sense. It has to be set to 0.
Well, yeah, in my head I was thinking, oh, if this pointer is already, there's nothing there. If it's null, I mentally assume that it's already set to null when it's initialized, but apparently the pointer needs to be set to null pointer.
Yeah.
Going from like Java, JavaScript, every other language, you can just set it uninitialized, but not C++. No, not this one.
Yeah, I think other languages are pretty tame. So I noticed the shapes quest, there's all my functions are really short. So it fits the mini quest format pretty easily. Boom, boom, boom. You can go through it. I guess some people have been getting stuck on the 2-string one. Is that because people are not using string stream?
I feel like most people at this point should be using it because like we have to make a 2-string like for every single function, every single quest at this almost. And
Yeah,
I don't
basically
know.
all my 2 strings are using the O string.
Use
And
O
then just
string stream.
yeah, that's
Okay.
Or yeah,
Okay,
I
so
think
yeah,
he explained it was better.
I use string stream by default, and O string if I'm going to output it to or like a console.
Yeah, I personally used OString stream for everything.
I think I remember last quarter he was explaining why O string stream was good. It was like if you use string stream, like there's like some errors that could come up, but I don't know. When you test it, it's the same like result. So I don't know.
I think for when you input stuff, then you definitely need like the IO string.
Yeah. Like or I string stream. Isn't that the thing?
I think that one's input and then O string stream is
Yeah,
primarily
output.
output.
IO
Yeah.
string.
Okay, I guess I've just used OString stream because it just worked. What's the functional difference between the I and the O for string stream and string stream?
I think
Don't
it's
they,
input versus output.
but aren't they? Okay, for reference, I'm coming from the mindset of like literally every other language where it's just a string. So what's the functional difference?
I've looked into this before and I'd probably have to look it up again because now I'm starting getting myself confused. But I was thinking it almost like from reading from a file. So because we're adding stuff to the string stream that is an O string, because we're saying, hey, put this, so that would be actually an output, whereas the input is actually reading something that's already there. So it'd be like reading, like a file exists and we want to pull from that file, that would be like an I string stream. But if we're adding stuff, then that's the O string stream.
Oh, so that's
So
like
it's not like adding something into the stream, it's you're adding it to an output.
So the I version of the stream is like the CN for like file input.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone correct me if I've got this wrong, but that's kind of how I've been thinking about it.
Okay.
Okay. And then I think string stream is just both combined. If you don't have the I or O prefix, you can do both. But I think like if you primarily need to do output, then it makes sense to, from a performance standpoint, to just use O string stream.
Because I know the big performance difference between the string stream versus just a string. It's the fact that when you concatenate or modify the string, then it has to rebuild the object, which is a major performance hit, which is why I use string stream. But yeah. I haven't personally looked into string stream. I should honestly do that. But
Yeah, I haven't hit any performance limits on my strings, so I haven't had that problem yet, I guess.
yeah, the small scale we're doing these quests, I doubt it. But I just know functionally that's one of the reasons.
Okay. I'm sure I'll hit that wall someday.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember, maybe I'll remember when I posted like a post where I kind of went off the rails and just decided to do like a huge performance analysis of the Hanoi quest. And yeah, that would definitely be where you'd see performance hits. Because it would like be an exponential amount of just string object rebuilding. But I digress.
Okay. All right, that's interesting. Yeah, because was it Jehun was having trouble on his two string. It seemed like he was putting out the same, like the correct output, but he was not passing the test. So
I swear the issue for that, because I remember reading that one. I swear it was just like it was like a new line. He was an extra new line, but he said he was like doing it correctly. So
when I look at my code, I don't explicitly have an extra new line at the end. I have one new line at the end of each for loop.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I have. The only thing I had to, I think, fix with that one is I had assumed that there would be no new line. Or I think maybe I had put it like an extra new line or something, at the beginning or at the end somewhere.
Yeah.
But then it was like, oh no, it's just every line's the same.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's a very short function for me. Like 7 lines or something.
Same. It's just basically string in a loop and then just return it.
Yeah.
do you have a nested for loop or like two loops or just one loop for that one for two string?
I just
I
have
have
one loop
Just one.
or
I have
oh,
two
just
nested
kidding.
for loops.
Oh,
Yeah, just
okay.
kidding. Mine's a nested.
Okay. Dude, I'm still not getting my draw functions. Like it's So annoying. I don't know if I should just go on to the next quest or not, but
The
I don't know exactly how to show you guys like what like I should I because if I try to share my screen, the I'm pretty sure it like the password is like literally right above the error message. So I don't know. I can't really even show what I'm doing wrong.
um,
Well, I think I'm doing wrong.
are you on the draw function or the draw by X and Y?
No, no, I'm on the draw stickman function.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You could try copying, pasting the output into the
Into like a
chat.
text. Oh, into it. But the output's like 80 lines long because it's like a screen that's has 86 height and or maybe 99 height, one of the two. But it's like a really big file. Oh, not big file, but like a big like thing to copy paste. I could maybe like copy paste it into like a text function, a text file, and then
Yeah, you could
try
try
to
that.
show. Yeah, I'll just do this.
Yeah, because okay, so my draw function is incredibly short. Like, so we have that gating, if the parts are 0, return false. And then I just call the draw function from each shape. Like, so
Okay.
unless you have an error in your earlier draw function.
Yeah, but the thing is, if I got to that point, to the stickman draw function even, that means all the other methods already passed the tests, so they should work. But
I don't know, sometimes you get incomplete tests. So you'll pass a test and then, but really you need to do something. Like Elliot mentioned that he passed the destructor without doing anything.
oh, that's true.
Just don't look at the memory page.
Yeah. So so my point is, if you get an error in stickman draw, your problem might actually be in the earlier draw functions. So
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna show two different output. I'm gonna show two different ones to show just to prove a point on.
There's a quick comment on the side. I looked it up. Um, from what it looks like, the regular string is just a all-purpose thing, and then the input and the output versions of it are explicit. So if you use those explicit versions, you can only use like the double arrows going this way or this way, and then it won't let you use it the other way around. Just for like explicitness, I guess. But that's the only difference. Otherwise, they behave the same.
okay, makes sense. Could be a safety thing in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that I look at it, yeah, I didn't do anything for any of the destructors in this quest. And passed it, probably, yeah. I didn't look at the memory page. Kind scared to look at it now.
Just a giant block of
Okay, let me try to share my screen. Mm, There. Okay, this is the text. You can see, you guys can see the text file, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one, this is like when I loop it, what I expect it to be properly. And then I tried modifying it and just only including like only including every single element except for one of them. So this would be mine and this is his. So like it's an actual stick figure at the bottom. And then so like I know that it can draw the rectangles, like the rectangle and lines properly based off this. But then when I change the for loop to loop through it properly, it does like this line at the thing, if that makes sense. So this is like the first one is like when I set up the for loop properly to go through all the elements. And the second one is when I go through every single one except for the last one. So, because I thought it would be like one of the elements is not being drawn properly, but if that makes, if, I don't know. I guess I can't really show my code, I can't really.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the problem.
Your foot's a little weird, right?
Yeah. Can I like pause?
So if you scroll down a little bit, you notice that the feet are not level.
Hold on. The feet here.
I guess in that one they're fine. When you had scrolled up a little bit, the feet were. You're still a bit. I don't know.
It's like so big that it's hard to like tell. But I noticed that the height, like this thing, it's the same height as his stick figure. But yeah. Maybe I could ask him separately, or I don't know.
was gonna say without counting every single line, I don't know if because it looks like there's more empty rows above yours than his.
Oh no, I didn't when I copied from the error message, like I didn't include all the lines.
I
Like
see.
I just tried to show the important lines.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. And but yeah.
So
Yeah,
I spent a lot of time uh making sure that the integer divisions were actually doing what they were supposed to.
oh, okay. Yeah, I can definitely look into that. I'll probably just look into like all my different draw functions and then try to figure out what I'm doing. But yeah, I just wanted to show the problem that I'm going through. It's frustrating because it's probably the last quest I need to figure out before, because I'm pretty sure my destructor is correct. But yeah.
Yeah, I think you got to check your draw functions and make sure that the integer division on the slope is doing what it's supposed to do. Like I cast all my divisions as doubles. And then at the end, I casted it back into a size T.
I see.
So if you don't do that, you might get an off by 1 error someplace. Like your line is here, but it should be there. Actually, it'd be only for that only the diagonals, right? Yeah, you'd be off by a little bit. Okay, all right. So I'll review the destructors on this quest. Because I'm certain I didn't do that right.
Sure, it'll take you like a minute.
See, I like these calls because it forces me to come back and review my code, which I haven't touched in a month.
Yeah, because you finished this like really early, right?
Yeah.
Like you finished it like before the quarters start, or almost before the quarter started, or something like that, right?
Yeah, that's right. That was sometime in around Christmas or early January is when I did this.
Yeah, I don't know how you find the time. You must not sleep.
There's less to do on weekends, I think. The summers are too hot to go out here, and then the winters get too cold to go out, and so there's this. So in the winters and summers, I wind up a lot of block of time at home to write code.
Where do you stay?
I live in Taiwan,
Oh,
so right now everything is cold and wet outside.
Hot and humid for the summer and wet and rainy.
Yeah, the summers are yeah, it's like 5 months of sweating.
It doesn't
Uh,
snow in the winter, right? Or does it in Taiwan?
It does snow at the very tops of the highest peaks. But I think it has snowed in Taipei like once in the last like 50 years. But it's like I said, it just feels a lot colder because everybody keeps the windows open.
mhm.
And buildings have no insulation, and there's no such thing as a double pane window. Okay. How are you doing on God?
I'm actually stuck on quest 3 still. I'm pretty far behind, and yeah, that's like something I need to work on and like try to finish.
Where are you at on
Those
quest 3?
so I keep getting this one error in my code. Like I've been working on quest 3 for like almost 2 weeks, but I can like show like what I'm getting quick. 1 second. I can share my screen.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, okay, but I'm getting like this error message. I don't know if there's a code for this anywhere, but okay. Yeah, I'm getting this error message. If you would see. And I assumed it's because of like here in the quest it says like um this. Like I was like a bit confused on like how I should even approach this.
Yeah, be careful, don't show us your code.
Yeah, wait, is my code sharing right now?
Yeah, you're showing the
Yeah,
the
yeah.
quest, so you're not showing the
Okay,
code right now.
okay, okay, okay. Okay, yeah, it's good. I think that was my bad for like a second. Yeah, I was just like really confused. I've been like stuck on this for a while now, and like I'm just like not sure because yeah, like if I have like a question, like a specific question in the code, it's like really hard to like ask it without showing the code. So I'm not really sure like what I can do.
So for this one, just going off of the example they have there, his next
Yeah.
gen has obviously three digits or 3 bits, and yours has
Yeah.
1. So for your like the make next gen, how are you accounting for when the parent is, 3 bits, not instead of 1 bit?
I think I'm just like doing it one by one. I think yeah. I was like I kind of forgot like how I did it honestly, but I can't like look back at my code right now. But yeah.
Because with the
So
current gen, right, it's showing the 1.
yeah.
But to the left and to the right of the 1, there's a whole bunch of zeros,
Right.
right? So when you're looking at the parent for those, you would have like a 001 as as the parent for that first digit, which creates the 0.
Yeah.
Right. Well, in this example, the rules vector is saying it's all going to be 0. But so 001 maps to 0, 010 maps to 0, and 100 maps to 0.
Yeah. Okay.
So my guess would just be make sure that you're capturing each of those 3 and not just the 010.
Okay, so capture each of the 3 like 001, 100, and the one. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. But like that's just where I am right now in my code. It's like a bit behind in the class. But yeah. How's everyone else doing with their code? Like which is assignment they're on?
I'm just starting this week's.
Yeah, I'm trying to finish next week's tomorrow. Just to have that buffer just in case.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, how's everyone doing on participation in this class? Because I feel he grades a bit harshly on, like, it's been really hard for me to get a 10 on participation every week.
You
I
just have
had
to try to comment and post one or the other, like daily, if you can.
yeah.
I think if you come to these meetings, he's a little more lenient personally, but I think last week wasn't too bad. He might have been a little more lenient because of the midterm. But I don't know.
I think
Did
he was
anyone come to the meeting?
more lenient because of the midterm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
Did
seeing the average for like every week is a 5, like, or like a 4 or 5. So I'm just like wondering how everyone else is doing.
So I get 10s every week. I think the thing to remember about the reflection is that it's not, it shouldn't be a report of your browsing on Reddit. You should be talking about what problems you had, what you learned, how you grew as a coder this week.
Mm,
Okay.
okay.
So what are things that you learned, what did you do? Um, so yeah, so start by talking about what you did in the quests, what you're struggling with, how you solved some of the bugs that you had,
Mm,
and then big picture, what concepts are you learning that are important, what habits are you picking up as a
mm,
developer.
mm. It feels like a bit hard for me because I'm currently a bit behind on the quests. So, like trying to relate it to where everyone else is in the class is like a bit hard because I haven't reached that point yet.
I
Yeah.
feel like you could still talk about like wherever you're at, like any error that you did come across, what you've tried so far, if you're able to solve it,
Mm-hmm.
or even if you haven't solved it, like saying like what you tried, and then saying like,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, I learned that this didn't work, and maybe here's why it didn't work. I still don't know what the
Mm-hmm.
right thing is, but I learned why something didn't work."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I understand what you're saying about the Reddit post, because like I don't participate in the CS2C Reddit because
Mm-hmm.
I'm like a week or two behind on what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I whatever they're discussing is over my head because I haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
And then by the time I'm working on it, they're all done with it. So I do see how it's me like that. But just when you have problems, just throw them up on Reddit, and we've all been there. You can,
Mm.
we're
Yeah.
more,
Yeah.
we're knowledgeable enough now that we can give constructive
Mm.
feedback.
Yeah. I feel I just take my time a lot when I code, and that just makes me like much slower coder. So I'm just like not as quick as like understanding the concepts as most people, I feel.
Well, the first three quests were hard.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of new computer science, and there's just a lot of work to do, and especially this the one you're working on now. It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did everything early, but it still took me a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was so
Mm,
thankful there's no question on automata that I got on the midterm, if I recall.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel I'm understanding the concepts though, because I did get 100 on the midterm, but it's just uh like
In practice,
now
it's
that I'm
different.
stuck. Yeah. Yeah, in practice, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, the third one was definitely a struggle for me.
Mhm.
And I think because I took CS2A last quarter,
Yeah.
I was able to start working on the first screen quest basically a week before people who didn't have CS2A last quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've had that kind of week, that buffer ahead. Um, and then, so that's why I'm always trying to be like 1 week ahead on the quest. So I tell myself, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling myself the ant quest is due this Sunday.
Yeah. Mm.
But totally feel your struggle.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, but for participation for helping for that, I just advise like if coming to these meetings personally, because I think it does help out a lot for your score if he
Mm.
sees that you are like coming to these meetings and talking and actively
Mm-hmm.
participating. But yeah.
Yeah. Wait, so he checks the recordings for the meetings?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Watches
Okay.
the entire thing.
Oh, okay. I did ask him. He said this is his last CS2C class or 2B class. He's going to be teaching this quarter, so he's not coming back next quarter.
Yeah, but I think according to Gabriel, like the 2C quests are still going to be part of the curriculum for the other teacher that's teaching 2C next
Oh,
quarter. So yeah.
So there will be continuation, like it's the same Enquestopedia that we'll be working on, at least
Mhm.
for CS2C next quarter. So that we do
Mhm.
have continuity.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Beyond next quarter, who knows? We'd have to ask.
Okay.
I have to ask Gabriel. I'm just wondering because my parents parents are in China and they have like family in like China and it's like there's like a movie in China that's really popular right now. I was wondering if it's like really popular in Taiwan as well. It's called Naza too. I was wondering if it's just if there's like because it's like actually so big. Like everyone in my family's like group chats or whatever are talking about it. But I'm just wondering if you have heard of it because you're
No,
also in Taiwan.
I'm really disconnected with pop culture because I don't even own a television.
Hmm, I see.
So and yeah, I the guys I hang out with are all foreigners. So
Yeah, because it's like
I don't know.
apparently breaking like all these records or like got like $1 billion US in like the just solely the Chinese market or something. But yeah, I don't
Is
know.
it the animated one?
Yeah, yeah. It came out like maybe it came out during Chinese New Year, so maybe like a couple weeks back. But my parents like dragged me to it to watch it. We watched it twice too, but it's pretty good. It's not bad. It's not bad, but I don't know. I probably won't be that popular in the US because it's like language difference and culture difference and stuff like that. But I was just wondering because like Taiwan's so close to China, so
Yeah, there is some of the media carries over and they'll use the subtitles from Hong Kong. And so they'll basically exchange to traditional Chinese.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't, I don't go out to watch too many movies. And for Chinese New Year, that's kind of what helped me get ahead on all the quests because nobody went to work for 3 weeks. And it was
Mhm.
too cold for me to go out. So I just stayed home and worked on CS homework. So I did like 4 quests in 2 weeks or something. But yeah, I have heard something about that movie. I just didn't pay too much attention to it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I probably should go eat now, but it's a good meeting. I'll
Mhm.
see you guys later. Bye.
Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah, see.
You have a class to teach in a bit, so
Bye.
all right. Yeah, it's good chatting with everybody today.
Yeah.
later.
Later.
Thanks. See ya. Thank you.
Yep.